Welcome in Cozy's Ghost Adventures. Today I'm going to tell you a story called The Poltergeist in the Walls, the haunted house that changed everything. It started with an odd noise. At first, Sarah thought it was the house settling. After all, her new home in the quiet suburban neighborhood had been empty for years before she moved in. But then it came again, a strange thumping noise, like something heavy was being dropped from a height. But there was nothing to drop. No one else was home. The thumps came every night at exactly 2:37 a.m., followed by a scraping sound that sent chills down her spine. Sarah didn't get much sleep, let's say. But Sarah wasn't the only one who noticed. Her dog, Max, began acting strange too. He would stand in the corner of the room, staring at the same spot on the wall for hours. Growling, his hackles raised. The hair on the back of her neck would stand up, but she chalked it up to stress, moving into a new place and all. And then things escalated. On one evening, Sarah was watching The Bachelor on TV in the living room, her eyes flicking occasionally to the hallway to check out shit that led to the stairs. She felt at first a shift in the air from warm to cold, like the temperature suddenly dropped several degrees. Lickety split. Then the loud crash echoed from the kitchen. Everything, it sounded like all the shit fell out of the cabinets. She jumped up, her heart hammering in her chest. When she got to the kitchen, everything was exactly as she had left it, except for one thing: a large knife on the counter, which now lay on the floor several feet away. Confused and terrified, she tried to brush it off again, telling herself she was just imagining things. But the following night, she caught a glimpse of movement out of the corner of her eye. A shadow darted across the hallway, disappearing into the wall. What? Then it hit her like a ton of bricks. Something was inside the walls. So she took out her handy-dandy notebook and got to work and did some research. She had found out the house had a history. A woman named Evelyn died there years ago in a tragic accident. She had been in the kitchen preparing dinner when something had caused the ceiling to collapse. She was trapped, buried under the rubble before she perished. They said her spirit never left. Soon, Sarah couldn't deny it any longer. Doors would start slamming shut on their own and opening. Lights flickered violently, and objects flew across the rooms when no one was near them. One night, she filmed herself sitting in her living room, shaky camera in her hand. She was pissing herself, hoping to capture anything that could explain the madness. At 2:37, you guessed it, 2:37, it happened. The door to the hallway creaked open, as though something invisible was slowly pushing it. Sarah's breath hitched as the scraping sound started again, this time louder, as though something was clawing at the walls, moving inside of them. Suddenly, Max the dog started barking wildly, his eyes fixed on the ceiling. And then the picture frame above her mantel jerked off the wall and flew towards her right before her very feet, crashing onto the floor. Woo! With a deafening bang, Sarah screamed, stumbling backwards. She was about to run when her camera had caught something. A shape, dark and formless, moved across the ceiling in the blur of a black shadow. A voice, very faint at first, whispered her name from the walls. Sarah. The walls weren't just hollow, guys. They were alive. at this point. Panicked, Sarah grabbed the camera and rushed out of the house as fast as she could, stumbling for the front door and onto the porch. The camera now shook violently in her hands, capturing the last horrifying image. The wall seemed to be shifting, as though something was moving inside them just underneath the surface. The house creaked, groaned, and then it was silent, still. Sarah never went back. The footage she filmed that night was posted online for everyone to see, and it quickly spread. Viewers watched in horror as the poltergeist violent movements escalated. Some claimed the house was cursed. Others said it was Evelyn's wrathful spirit. But no one could explain why the house had seemingly come alive that night, or why Sarah's footage showed something else lurking in the walls. Sarah's video went viral, drawing millions of views. People from around the world swore they could hear the scraping sounds in the background of her video, some claiming they felt an icy chill creep over them while watching. It was like the poltergeist itself was reaching through the screen. The real kicker, you may ask. The house was sold a few months after Sarah moved out. No one lived there since, but sometimes, late at night, people passing by claim to see the lights flicker in the windows and hear faint knocking from the walls. The question remains, is the poltergeist still in there? And who will be the next to hear it call their name? There you go. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you want more stories like this, comment down below. See ya!